Hey, J-Bros popping in here. Just doing a quick backsplash right now. I got everything prepped up and cleaned up for the most part. Right now I'm plugging the outlets because they got moved around to fit this new kitchen. So that's what I'm doing here. A little bit different stuff than normal. Used to do a bunch of backsplashes back in the day, and these are some people that I did a backsplash for. Oh, I don't know, maybe, shoot, 8-10 years ago, and this is just a new place that they got, and they wanted me to come out and do it, and I was like, yeah, I could make it work. So we'll see how I do. Right now I already patched it with 1.5 inch, half-inch plywood behind, a couple screws, and then I'm just putting another half-inch plywood. Could use drywall. I don't have any drywall. Maybe it's getting covered by backsplash tile. Just really doesn't matter. Just need a solid surface instead of a big hole. There we go. And all I'm doing on the one I'm sticking behind it, I'm putting a screw into here so I can hold it, and then yeah, that way the piece doesn't fall through. But just don't get intimidated by doing backsplashes. They're actually pretty easy. And mind you, I don't really need this laser level. I just threw it up because obviously they got new counters, and typically the counter people get these counters insanely level, but I just wanted to double check. One of my screws didn't test very good, and I couldn't get the other one to start on me. Minor inconvenience. had to go grab my saw. They really butchered that outlet around that double ganger, so I got to put a bigger piece in there. There we go. Get that removed. Get some better stuff in here. Let's just see. Got a 5-inch here. And I'll just cut a 7-inch piece behind here to here, and with the L that I'm putting, the plywood will come over here. That'll be strong enough by the time I get some mastic on there and then put the tile with the sheeting. That ain't gonna go anywhere unless the guy punches a hole through the drywall or the backsplash. Okay, that should pop right in there unless I measured it terrible. Perfect. Same thing, just put a screw in the middle of this plywood. I went a little bit bigger on this one. Try to get a little bit more grab, not really necessary, but got it a little too wide. I'll have to go rip this down quick. Can't get it in there. Yeah, majority of the time, the tile backsplash itself isn't even the let's say time-consuming part. It's all this rigmarole. Screws in there. I put that in there slight at an angle because that middle piece of drywall kind of broke. What I should have actually probably done is just put a whole new chunk in there, but I was tough getting it in there, so this will end up working and holding pretty good. There we go, patched up. Now this one screw I did notice here, I might have to change up what screw I put in here. I don't think it's set countersunk all that well. It's one kind of bad thing about using this plywood, you almost like to use a softer wood behind here. There we go. tape measure. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna go dump this tool belt. I need the square. Yeah, and then I'll just start in with the mastic and start slamming some tiles up. Be right back. And gloves for this kind of suck. One thing I did forget to do whenever they pulled off of here, there was nails. They must have had some sort of shiplap backsplash or something. When I was going here to clean out with my blade, I was hitting little trim nails. All of them got put in, but some of them didn't. This is just a fun little Barbie doll sledge that I picked up. I'm going to do one quick, another scrape down on this stuff. One thing I did forget at home is I forgot my cordless vacuum, but I got that pretty good. Got the big stuff. I just noticed some bigger ones there when I was scraping, but I already scraped it down pretty good. Okay. Let's see if I can't get cruising here. Like I said, these backsplashes are not that difficult. It's just time consuming. And all I'm using is, this is type 1 mastic. I'm sure somebody else will tell you some different stuff, but I've done a fair amount of backsplashes, and by mind you, I'm no professional backsplash installer, but I've never seen this stuff fail. And then you just use the small V-notch trawl, little guy like this, $5, you know, a couple bucks. And what I do is I take this one and I'll put a little bit more on these just to kind of, I don't know, for the fun of it. Because obviously it's more just float over for the mesh and get it all to secure, and once it all kind of welds together, it just isn't going anywhere. And I like the fact that the stuff is pre-mixed, and then not saying it's the right way, but I like to get the pre-mixed, the grout, so you're not sitting there mixing and all that stuff. That way you kind of know it's at the right consistency. The part that I have the least patience for, where I would normally have another guy do, is grouting. I don't know what it is, it's so easy, but god darn it, is it boring. You gotta press it all into the holes and stuff like that, and I don't know. Maybe I'd rather be sitting on a mini skid right now. I think that's probably what it is. Or maybe I just don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything, because I feel like the skilled stuff, if you want to say, is already done. First first thing I saw when I saw this small tub of mastic. It's like, I don't think this is gonna get me the whole way. And then I checked at my house and then local hardware, they didn't have this stuff, but we'll see how far I get. Okay, that goes there. And being I had already wiped off the mastic on those, I'm just gonna back butter these two or these three ends here. And using this mastic and stuff, I've never really back buttered these. I don't feel the need. I suppose you could, but I guess I have not seen failure to justify it, because I feel like this stuff is going to press into this mesh, which push through, and then when you put the grout to it, I mean, it's just going to hold that together pretty darn good. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Rookie mistake right there. I got to cut these ones off that I didn't there, inch and a half. They might be around here somewhere. Should have cut this off before I put mastic on it. And then we go like this, click. This out to my cutter and I'll pop this on. The other thing I like to use is this here to press them on. They got foam ones of these. I prefer the rubber ones. It's worth the extra buck to get the rubber ones. You just take that and that flattens it out. And then the other thing too, if you got any spots where that, see how that mastic pushed through there? Do not wait till that dries to clean that off. You'll just be more mad at yourself later for not cleaning it off when you're grouting, because that's one of those hang-ups that will annoy you. Because then you have to sit there and clean it off while you're doing grout. And believe me, that is no fun. I gotta go grab this small piece that I cut off here. 3/4, I think it was. Or did I already bring one in? Must be out there. yeah, so that basically is done. And usually what's kind of nice about the tile where they put the outlets is usually it's just a full chunk and then the plate covers that, so pretty good to go there. Yeah, and then just keep going on your merry way. It's pretty much how fast can you put mastic up and set a tile, and how fast you can get around outlets. And just don't be too nervous about around outlets either, because two ways to kind of help you out for speed is just get a cordless diamond blade, and that can usually get through some of that niche stuff. But the saw I've got, you kind of really don't need it. It's just kind of handy. Like I said, you don't need a lot of this. Just bend your trowel like that. Like I said, this, if you've ever tried to demo Backsplash, it don't come off for crap. It's kind of like taking off, if you ever try to take off wallpaper, oh my god. That's pretty much an example. The stuff is not meant to come off because it's like the stuff sets right through the paint, and usually half the time it just takes the paper right off. Chunk. Right there. Just to remind you too that, you know, you're just trying to eye up these tiles there a little bit, because they are on a mesh sheet, so they're not exactly perfect. But then even the spacing on the ones that are factory, you know, aren't ever exact either. So we try to do it exactly as close as you can, but tiles aren't perfect. And 90% of the time, or probably even higher, the only one that's going to know is the installer. Because you figure, I don't know what they paid for these sheets, but let's just say they're $10 a sheet. You know, just right there, that's $30. So just a material, let's just say maybe this is like $300. And then you factor in a mastic. Mastic is probably, I don't know, suppose this is $30, and then let's just say pre-mixed grout's $30. So that kind of gives you a ballpark if you were going to do this stuff yourself. So this is where it gets fun. I usually throw my rubber gloves on around an outlet, because, well, there ain't that much power usually going through these. Usually on a 20 amp circuit, but if you do this random stuff and you don't turn the power off, randomly over time you're just gonna get zapped. But I haven't been zapped in ages, so, and I just take these pieces with me, that stuff they came on, and being you can see through the mesh and the outlet, like on this one here, because it's a square box, you know, you can push that back and get the darn of it where you basically need it, so you're not trying to fold it and whatnot. I mean, you can just basically see exactly where to get to. The one that sucks on these ones here is like this next tile is going to come here and it's going to go over here. Almost 100% of the time, you're not going to be able to get this tile here without it breaking. it just breaks. And what we basically say, okay, that's why you got grout, to kind of cover up the space, and usually there's not much of a space, and that's why there's a plate over it. So don't feel bad if you're not able to get that perfect, because, well, it's just not possible for the most part. And if somebody's got an ingenious tool method out there that you're getting those cuts made, let me know. Okay, left side is done. And just remember, when you're cutting these in, don't get super tight. Remember, there's a plate that goes over that. And the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because my MO is like, I'm always cutting stuff too tight, and that's like, okay. And the last thing you want to be doing with this tile is cutting it twice, because then it starts chipping and it starts breaking. You want to come through it one clean time with your wet saw. And like I said, this one here, what I'll probably do is I'll probably take my utility knife, I'll cut this guy out and see if I can't get my wet saw to take that off, but we'll see. Yeah, and the other thing you want to do too is, I'll get set up here, is because you're cutting with the wet saw, well then your stuff gets so wet. I should have already had some paper towels laid out. And I already wiped it down right out by the saw with a cloth. But we'll want to try to get as much of that moisture off that back as we can, so it doesn't affect the bonding. And then I wasn't able to, or excuse me, I had to, what's going on here? Let me get this on there first. Like I had mentioned, I had to cut that one off from the sheet, and I'll go back out and see if I can't okay, let me get some mastic over here. And look at that, I mean, I'm basically already around that outlet. Like I said, it takes you longer to spread the mastic stuff, because normally a guy would be in front of me putting this mastic down. And like I'm just talking about speed right now. The guy would be in front of me putting mastic on, and then normally I'd just be cutting and setting while the mastic's already getting prepped out for me. Now that we're kind of cruising here, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but this stuff doesn't just dry like lightning either. I forget what the dry time is on it. Let's see here. Nah, maybe my vision's not bad. All I know is it doesn't dry like immediately. I'd say you probably got maybe 5-10 minutes at least of dinking around before you're even too remotely worried about anything. I would say backsplashes are just one of those things that's one of the easier DIY things to just really help transform a kitchen that almost anybody can do. But I understand if you don't have the tools. That's probably the biggest thing, is just having the tools. Because I used to do a lot more backsplashes. It was kind of, because I used to do the final finishing of all my homes that I would build, and adding all these little extra details to them means you don't have to sub that portion out to anybody. It just gives you another job to do and another way to save some money for the builder, but that, or save some money for the homeowner, but then also more money that a guy as a builder can make, so you're not subbing so much stuff out. So you can make it cheaper, plus if you can do it yourself, then you get the money for doing the work. But if it's not your skill set and you don't really feel like it, just sub it out and have the pros do it. Sometimes that's better off too. Know your limitations of not doing everything. And that's why I ended up buying the mini skid, because now I'm in just a different setup and speed isn't my main priority anymore. It's more saving money and saving my body. Probably should not forget to Okay, I'm gonna go out there and get that one cut before I get too wild. Well, I'd say I got lucky on that one. See how that, you can just take your blade and plunge cut. Fortunately, I think I got a new diamond blade on that, so I was able to get around there. Oh, looks like there's no mastic in that spot. So there, tell you not to back butter, and there I'm back buttering on the top. But there's a little mastic there, just not much. There, and just like that, and then fortunately for us, on the next roll up, which kind of sucks, and it always ends up happening. It seems like once you're up to the cabinets, you're almost forced to rip a sheet down, but it's not the end of the world. Don't take that long, and usually there's no notching around up there, like going around outlets. Just the slow part. And once again, now we're just cruising to the next spot. Yeah, see, this container is almost ready to be gone. If anything, hopefully I can get the bottom row done. And obviously another reason why when I saw this container, I was like, that's not enough. I should have came here prior to, but or informed them that it should have been a little bit more. The container only says 8 square feet. Well, we got more than 8 square feet here, because what do I got? 5 tiles up? Like I said, if anything, I would just love to get all the outlets taken care of and covered. I'm not too worried about this other crap here. I don't know what exactly is going to happen around this window yet. I'll have to reconfirm on that. Oh, where did I put my putty knife? Oh, what's it in that container? to knock those. Like you get these little ribs in here. Those are the things you kind of want to knock down because those are what will come through where your grout lines would be. They're kind of an indicator that you might be low because, or the stuff's kind of setting up because it'll start to stick to itself and get clumpy. There's a chunk somewhere of dirt. Yeah, just cruising here. Get a little bit more up here. I'm not gonna put so darn much by the outlet this time when I'm I think that looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like back over here. Yeah, a lot better than blue paint and glue. Let's see here. Put my gloves on, my marker on that switch. Thankfully I only have one in there, but then again it doesn't really matter. And if you are doing this, you probably should kill the power if you're not really comfortable around like that. That's a good reason why you cut the power. Well, that didn't shock me, but trip the breaker anyway. I might just wave that one. It almost appears that hopefully I don't burn out the light. Oh, let's see here. It's so close to. It's almost like I only need to get in the middle of it. Where the. Hey, J-Bros popping in here. Just got all the tile backsplash set, and I'm going to probably let this sit till tomorrow and grout this up. I think it turned out pretty good. J-Bros out.